Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Okay, so now we've reached up to Mansoobat today. So let's have a little recap of the different types of or forms that words can fall into. So the words can, like we said, rafa. Okay, so you can see on the board over here. Let me just highlight it over here. So you can have the rafa. Okay, this is the marfu state, how we call it. You can have the nasab, the mansoob state. You can have the jar, what is called the khafat state, or the jazm. Every word basically in Arabic, in a sentence in Arabic, whether it's the Quran or whether it's hadith, fiqh, a magazine, newspaper, it has to fall under one of these four. It's gotta fall under one of these four. It has to be one of these. Right, so the word is either going to be marfu or mansoob or majroor or jazm, majzoom. So we've done the marfu, right, and we said, just to recap again, okay, we said that the marfu words, okay, there's either a word is marfu because of dhamma, right, so like we gave examples here, or a word is marfu and, sorry, let me say again. So either a word is rafa and the sign that it's rafa is dhamma, or a word is rafa and the sign that it's rafa is the waw, or a word is, let me zoom this in a bit more so you guys can see, or a word is marfu and the sign is alif, or a word is marfu and the sign is noon. Yeah, everyone understand that? Makes sense, yeah? And we covered all the marfu'at that he mentioned previously. Alhamdulillah, we covered all of them. The mubtada, the khabar, the fa'il. Yeah, all of them. Alhamdulillah, we've done. So now we're going to move on to the next category now. Okay, so the next category is called the mansoobat. Right, the mansoobat. So the mansoobat are words which are in the nasb state. Yeah, can sentences be in each of? Yes. Not all sentences. Yeah, not all sentences. But there are some sentences that can be in these states. These are called al-jumla bil mahal. Yeah. So these are jumla which have mahals. Mahal of rafa, mahal of nasab, mahal of jar. Okay, and then there's jumlas that have no. Okay, so nasab, right? A sign of nasab can be fatha. So a word that has fatha, for instance, if you look over here, ra'aytu zaydan, fatha. Okay, so that's a sign of nasab. And number two, alif. So a sign that a word is in the nasab state is that it has alif, right? And the alif we referred to was the asma khamsa mukabbara. Here, ra'aytu aba zayd. And kasra, so also kasra as well. So a word which has, like for example, ra'aytu al-muslimati. This only applies to jamma muannath salim. And number four is a word that has an ya. So qara'tu al-kitabaini, ra'aytu al-muslimina. Yeah, makes sense? Yeah, so mudhakkar salim and dual. So we've done this before. And the removal of noon. Okay, so the removal of noon. And this only occurs in when you have a nasib next to it, like an taktubu. And this applies only to 5 verbs, 5 present verbs. Okay, so now I was going to make a acronym out of this. Yeah, but it's going to sound like a swear. F, I, K, U, N. That's going to sound a bit like a swear, yeah? So what we're going to do is we're going to do the other way around. So we're going to make an acronym which is going to sound like this then. So nakif, right? That's going to be our acronym. So we're going to learn that, guys. Okay. So when you say nakif, these are the 5 different states or 5 different signs that a word is in the mansoob state. Okay. So noon basically refers to the removal of noon. So remember that. Okay, removal of noon. Okay, so na and the a refers to ya. Okay, actually change the ya. Yeah, because then that gets confusing with what do you think? Yeah, can change it. Okay, so because I want to make you guys learn it according to the book. So right, naikif. Yeah, naikif better. So that ya, why? And kaf is kasra, and a is alif, and the fa is fatha. Okay, so naikif. So remember, for the marfu ones, we said it was da one. Yeah, da one, and that was supposed to be like dad wow dawan, dad wow alif nun. In this case, naikif. Right, so let's carry on then. Everyone understand that? So if I say to you guys, this is a nasab word, and I say to you, okay, tell me what are the signs that a word is in the nasab state. So I want you guys to just roll off your tongues these 5. Yeah, naikif. What does naikif mean? Removal of nun, ya, kasra, alif, and fa. Yeah, nakif, nun, ya, kaf, or kasra, alif, and fa, fatha. Okay, so let's move on then. So today we're going to start mansoobat. So this is the topic of mansoobat. So today I'm just gonna talk to you about mansoobat. All right, we're not gonna start each individual topic itself. I'm just gonna give you an overview of how it works. So let me just open a new page. Okay, so yeah, you guys all with me? Okay, so let's start then. So mansoobat. Now I'm gonna draw this, right, so we can make a big picture out of it later on. So mansoobat. Okay, mansoobat, this is our next topic now. So I want you guys to write this down. Now the mansoobat, I'm gonna write it in a bit of a different way, okay? And then we'll try and apply this to how the author he's saying it. So his method is a bit different, and the thing about his method is good because, you know, if you like read some tafsirs and some classical books, they use the same kind of terms that he is using. Yeah, so that's why it's good. So, but I'll give you both. Okay, so we're gonna make this into a 12 list, right? And we're gonna make it horizontally. All right. So, or actually, you know what we'll branch it out, because I think horizontally is gonna be too much. So let's branch it out. So okay. Yeah, and if you guys got a better idea, then just put it in the comments. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, it looks like a mehndi pattern on someone's hands. Okay, so these are 12, right? So we're gonna make 12. So how does it work? So write this down. So the first one we're gonna write down is what we call maf'ul bihi. Number 2, maf'ul mutlaq. Number 3, maf'ul fihi. Number 4, maf'ul lahu. Number 5, maf'ul ma'hu. Okay, these are 5. So make sure you write them down. These 5. Okay, next. Okay, so khabar of kana. And over here I'm going to put the ism of inna. Ism of inna. And then we'll start over here. Then we'll write hal. تمييز منادى مستثنى and اسم لا. Okay, so everyone done that? Got that done, yeah? Okay. Right. So I want you to learn it like this. Yeah, I want you to try to map it in your head like this. Yeah, I mean, you can make. I was trying to make a song out of this the other day to memorize it. So I was thinking, how am I gonna make this into a song? So, به فيه له ومطلقا معه. به فيه له ومطلق معه. Yeah, so I've got those 5. Up to there, I've made a song. Yeah, which is not copyrighted, so you can copy that. So به فيه له. So basically, به فيه له ومطلق معه. به فيه له ومطلق معه. And then the rest, you guys gotta make up yourselves. Yeah. So these are called the 5 maf'ools, by the way. These are called the 5 maf'ools. Alright. And then you got the khabar of kana, the ism of inna, the ism of la, mustathna, munada, tamyiz, and hal. Okay, and like I said, it's a good way to memorize. Make a song about it, make a rhyme about it, and that's how you're gonna memorize these. So I know these by heart anyway, but if you don't know them by heart, make yourself a little song about it. Munada, I don't know. Anyway, let's carry on. So let me increase the size of this page so we can write some examples and I can show you how all of these work. Now, in the Arabic language, anywhere you look in the Quran, right, you are gonna find one of these. Yeah, wherever there's a mansoob, you will definitely find one of these. Okay, so it's gonna be one of these. All right, so how do these work then? So these are all in the mansoob state. Right, so like we said, the nikaf, yeah, so the nykif. So maf'ul bihi. First of all, maf'ul bihi is basically, let's say you have a sentence. Let's say if I said this, akaltu, I ate. Akaltu means I ate. Now after this, what I do is I bring something that I've eaten. So anything which is on the receiving end of a verb, anything on the receiving end of a verb, like I hit Zaid, I ate bread, I opened the book, I closed the book, I broke the cup. So anything on the receiving end of the verb, this is known as the maf'ul bihi, the object. So akaltu at-ta'am, I ate the food. So this word ta'am, this is what we call the maf'ul bihi. So this word is in the mansoob state. So remember, N Y K A or I F. Yeah, nikaf. So that nikaf we have to keep in our mind. So in this case, this word ta'am, are we gonna remove a noon? Are we gonna add a ya? Is there a kaf? Is there kasra there? Kasra? Is there an alif there? Or is there fatha? So in this case, we're gonna give this fatha. Akaltu at-ta'ama. Akaltu at-ta'ama. Okay, next. Maf'ul mutlaq. Maf'ul mutlaq in Arabic is a very simple rule. All it is, any verb that you bring. For example, let's say I say this, akaltu at-ta'am, like we did previously. Okay, akaltu at-ta'am. Now, any verb you bring, what's the verb here? It's akaltu, isn't it? So what we do is we take the masdar of this. The masdar means the root word. Yeah, the masdar, the root word. So we take the root word of akaltu and we add it here. Akaltu الطعام أكلة. Yeah. I ate the food أكلة. So this, by repeating the masdar, okay, or rather instead of أكلة we'll use أكلا. Okay, أكلا. We're going to give it fatha. Yeah, fatha. أكلا. So that is bringing the masdar. So this masdar now, this is what we call maf'ul mutlaq. So basically, when you repeat the masdar of a verb after it, you call that maf'ul mutlaq. Okay, what if you said, I ate the apple from the fridge which my friend put there? Is everything after the verb all the maf'ul bihi? Not necessarily. Yeah, so like you're asking, I ate the apple from the fridge. So because you've got from there, that from is a preposition. Okay, and which, that which is what we call a mawsul, and put there, that is what is called a maf'ul fihi. So it has to be the thing which is on the receiving end of the, directly receiving end of the action. It has to be like, if I say I punched, so whoever you punched, that's called the maf'ul bihi. I'm not saying go and punch someone here. Or I drove a car. So the action or the thing that is the result on the receiving end of the action, that's called the maf'ul bihi. Okay, so maf'ul mutlaq, akaltu at-ta'am aklan. Everyone understand that? This is called the masdar. Any verb you take, so these are going to come in detail, but I just want to give you an overview how this works. Maf'ul fihi. Maf'ul fihi simply is time and place. Yeah, so for example, if I said akaltu at-ta'am, okay, I ate the food, and you want to mention a time that you ate it in, or a place. If you mention a time, like for example, you say sabahan, I ate the food in the morning. In this case, this word would become mansoob. Okay, this word is now mansoob. And this mansoob, jazakumullah khair, Maulana, mashallah, may Allah wa baraka fika aydan. So, sabahan, this is the maf'ul fihi. So, akaltu at-ta'ama sabahan. So, this is telling you what time you did the action. So, any word that you bring in a sentence that explains to you the time of the action, that's called a maf'ul fihi. Or a place. For example, akaltu at-ta'ama sabahan tahta. Let me make this a bit bigger. Yeah, you guys understanding it? So remember, if you're not understanding it, then there's something wrong. Either there's something wrong with me, or with you, or with the internet. Okay, so tahta ash-shajara. Okay, so tahta ash-shajarati, that word there, two words put together, mudaf and mudaf ilayh, that becomes the maf'ul fihi as well, because that word is describing where the eating took place. Right, so this word is for where, and this word is for when. So where and when. So anything that's describing to you where an action took place is called maf'ul fihi, and anything describing to you when an action took place is called maf'ul fihi as well. Like for example, in English, if I say this, I read the Quran at night. So at night would be maf'ul fihi. So you give me an example. Yeah, for example, if I say to you, I drove the car, so give me a maf'ul fihi about time. Add something at the end of that sentence which would tell you, describe to you the time in which I done the action. Yeah, have a go. And likewise, you can do the same for where you done it as well. So this is called maf'ul fihi. Okay, next. Maf'ul lahu. So maf'ul lahu is, for example, if I say akaltu, another color, akaltu at-ta'am, akaltu at-ta'ama, I ate the food. Now you want to bring a word after here which tells you the reason why you ate it. The reason. Yeah. So akaltu at-ta'ama hubban. Hubban, it means love. Out of love. So maf'ul lahu tells you why you done it. Why? Why did you eat the food for? So any word that you bring that will tell you, describe to you why you done an action. That's called maf'ul lahu. Okay? And again, nasab. So all of these at the moment, see, I'm putting fatha on them because, you know, they're not words. I'm not using a word where I can put another thing on, another one of these on. Okay, maf'ul ma'ahu. Maf'ul ma'ahu, this is, for example, like, I'm not going to use the word akaltu, the example akaltu. Okay, if I say something like this, okay, I can actually use that. Akaltu at-ta'am, I ate the food. Okay. And now what I want to say is, I want to say what I was with whilst I was eating. What was I accompanying? What was next to me? So if I say, for example, wal bahr, akaltu at-ta'am wal bahra. So this would mean this: I ate the food with the ocean, meaning I was next to the ocean. So this waw over here, this is actually translated as ma'a in Arabic. That's why it's called maf'ul ma'ahu, with. All right, so these are the 4 or 5 maf'uls, what we call the 5 maf'uls. Yeah. Okay, next is the khabar of kana. So kana is a word in Arabic and it's got a function, and the function of kana is it gives the meaning of past. Yeah, it gives the meaning of past. So for example, like if I say kana Zaid, kana Zaidun, Zaid was waladan. Yeah, Zaid was waladan. So Zaid was waladan means Zaid was a child. Zaid was a child. So the khabar, so what we say here is Zaid is the ism of kana. Remember we did this in the marfu as well. And walad is the khabar of kana. Yeah, so if you go back to the videos, you can see this as well. So this is called the khabar of kana. So all khabars of kana are in the nasab state. Yeah, so kana Zaidun waladan. You wouldn't say waladun. No, that's wrong. You gotta say waladan. Okay, that's khabar of kana. Now let's move up this way then. Ism of inna. Okay, ism of inna is basically again similar to kana, but with inna this time. So you take the word inna, which is a particle, inna, and you have ism. Let's say for example, inna Zaid, inna Zaidan. Okay, actually should have made that red. So for example, well actually I'll leave a space there. So inna Zaidan, indeed Zaid is talib. Talibun is a student. So in this case, it's the opposite way round of the kana. So Zaid is what we call the ism of inna, and talib is what we call the khabar of inna. Now notice, remember I said to you before, ism of kana in inna and ism of kana, khabar of inna, khabar of kana, it's basically mubtada and khabar, but it's just become fancy now. It's transformed into, instead of saying mubtada is a bit like you know, old school, chavi, yeah, freshy kind of. No, so now it's, we call it ism of inna. So you don't say the mubtada of inna, you say ism of inna, posh way. So indeed Zaid is that. So anywhere you get like inna allaha ala kulli shay'in qadir, it's mansoob. Okay, ism of la, this is a specific type of la. This doesn't apply to all las. So this is a specific type of la. Well, I made that line a bit too big. This is specific. Yeah, it's called la negating genus. It's gonna come, a whole section is gonna come on it. It's a specific type of la, so it's not all las. And an example of this is like in the Quran we have Alif Lam Mim, Dhalikal Kitabu. Come on, finish it off. La Raiba. Yeah, La Raiba. So La Raiba, notice what's happened there? Yeah, that word Raiba has got a single fatha. Yeah, so this is a single fatha. So this word over here, rayba, this is what we call a mansoob, the ism, known as the ism of la. Ism of la. The khabar of la, this is hidden, so I'm not going to mention that yet. That will be the khabar of la. So la rayba, la rayba, this is known as the ism of la. And you guys all know this because you've read it in the kalima, la ilaha illallah. So la ilaha, notice, it's mansoob. But the only thing I want you to remember about this is that this must only take a single fatha. That's the only difference between this and all the other mansoobat. This takes a single fatha. Notice, single. You can't say la rayban. Okay, so it's a single fatha. Okay, next, mustathna. Mustathna basically means exemption. Yeah, exemption, mustathna. It's a long word. So mustathna, it sounds like mistathna. Yeah, but it's not mistathna, it's mustathna. So this is where you have illa, except. Yeah, except. Illa. So, for example, if I say jaa al-qawm, the people came. Right, the people arrived. They came. There was a parents' evening, and all the people came, except for who? Except for Zayd. So Zayd is what we call the mansoob word after illa. Yeah, it's mansoob. So when we say mustathna, we're referring to the word after illa. Zayd. So this word Zayd, it's mansoob. Now, is it always mansoob? Because I read the kalima la ilaha illallahu. I don't say la ilaha illallah. So no, it's not always mansoob. There's conditions for it. Just like the other ones, there's some conditions for them as well. Yeah, so bear that in mind. Okay, so جاء القوم إلا زيدا. So the people came except for Zayd. إلا زيدا. Okay, next. Munada. Munada means the person who's being called. Yeah, like if I say this, Ya Abdul. Oops, read. Ya Abd. Dallahi. So this word, Ya Abdullah, notice it's mansoob. Yeah, it's a mansoob word. Ya Abdallahi. So ya, after the word ya, okay, certain words will take nasab, the nasab state. Yeah, so again, there are some rules attached to this. This doesn't always happen, but there are certain situations like here where you say Ya Abdullah. So you wouldn't say Ya Abdullah. Or like the big mistake people make. Yeah, you know who you are. Yeah, where you go around saying Ya Rabbul Alameen. Yeah, big mistake. Grammatically it's wrong. So it's not Ya Rabbul Alameen. What is it? It's Ya Rabbal Alameen. Okay, Rabbal Alameen. Ya Rabbal Alameen. Now, I don't want you going around on the streets crazy, rolling around, skipping, hopping, and just because you learn this rule now, you're going to start saying Ya Allah. Yeah, Ya Allah. No, this does not apply to single words all the time. There's certain rules when it applies. So sometimes in certain words it applies, and some words it doesn't apply. So bear that in mind. Does that make sense? Yeah. So what if it was said ya said? If you said ya said, is something wrong with you? Yeah, ya said. So do you mean ya Sa'id? Yeah. So if it's a single word, yeah, then a single word, no, you don't attach it. But there's certain conditions, right? So and I don't want to go into those conditions because that's gonna come, and then, you know, I don't want to give you guys your supper at breakfast time. Yeah, you have your breakfast at breakfast time, you have your lunch at lunchtime, and you have your supper at supper time. Yeah, so I'm going to give you everything at its own time. Yeah, so you don't say Ya Allah, you say Ya Allahu. So this rule, it applies to munada, but not all munadas. So not to Zayd, not Ya Zaydu, Ya Zayda. Okay, tamyiz. Tamyiz is the next one now, right? So we've got space. All right, we'll do that. So tamyiz basically is clarification. Yeah, you want to clarify something. So how do we clarify something? So something is clarified when something before it is not clear. So for example, like I'll give you an example like this. Zaid is afdal, is the best. Zaidun afdal. How is he the best? Like, in what way is he the best? Is he the best student? Is he the best helper? Is he the best neighbor? Is he the best father? Is he the best worker? In what way? It's unclear. Right? Now you guys want to know, like, what the tamyiz is. That's called the tamyiz. The word you're going to put there is called the tamyiz. What's the clarifier? So here, if I say Zaidun afdalu taliban. Zaidun afdalu taliban. Zaid is the best. In what way? As a student. Taliban. Yeah. Taliban. Or talaban. Or ilman rather. Instead of taliban, you have to change that. Afdalu ilman. Zaid is the best with regards to ilm. Not talib. Change talib. Yeah. Zaid afdalu ilman. With regards to knowledge, Zaid is the best. Or Zaid is the best with regards to knowledge. Okay, and finally, last one is hal. Okay, so hal basically is explaining the condition of the action. Yeah, so this hal is explaining the condition of the action. For example, like if I say akaltu at-ta'am, let's go back to eating food again because we all love eating food. Yeah, so akaltu at-ta'ama, I ate the food. I ate the food. What was my condition whilst I was eating? So whatever word I bring now to explain that condition, yeah, to explain the condition is called the hal. So let's say I ate the food jalis, sitting, jalisan. Now this word jalis means sitting. So this word jalis is explaining the action of eating. So what state was I in whilst I was eating? I was sitting. Does that make sense? So these are the 9 types of mansūbāt that you need to learn. So you have maf'ul bihi, which is on the receiving end of the verb. You have maf'ul mutlaq, which is basically bringing the masdar, the root word of a verb after it, exact same. You have maf'ul fihi, which describes to you the where or when the action took place. Maf'ul lahu, which tells you why the action took place. You have maf'ul ma'ahu, which basically tells you what was next to you whilst the action was taking place, or what was next to the person doing it. You have the khabar of kana. Then you have the ism of inna. Then you have the ism of la, which is a specific la negating genus, like we said. We have mustathna, word after illa, but not always. We had word after ya, munada, but not always. We had tamyiz, which is for clarification. And finally, we had hal. Yeah, hal. Okay, which is describing the condition whilst the action was taking place. Does everyone understand that? Everyone understand those 12? If you've understood those 12, alhamdulillah, you've learnt a very big topic. Alhamdulillah. And if you haven't understood it, go over the video again, try and understand it, inshallah. Now let's look at the text now. So now we're going to apply his text to this now. Alright, so he says, Babu mansūbāt al-asmā. This is the chapter of mansūbāt al-asmā. Those asmas, those nouns, which are mansūb, okay, which are in the state of nasab. And if I say to you, what are the states or what are the symbols for the state of nasab? You say this. Yeah. Removal of noon, ya, kasra, alif, and fatha. Yeah, those are the 5 symbols, signs of nasab. Okay, so what are the mansūbāt themselves? He says 15, 15. But how much have I done? 12. I'll show you how we're going to work the both together. So وهي, and they are. Al-maf'ul bihi. So maf'ul bihi, the first one. Okay, so let's tick that off. Yeah. Okay, so let's tick this off then. Why is tick not working? Okay, let's do that. Number 2, wal mastar. Mastar refers to mutlaq, maf'ul mutlaq. Okay, mastar, because I mentioned there. Number 3, dharf zaman, and number 4, dharf makan. So he's combined one, and he split them up into 2. So I've combined them into 1. So dharf zaman. Dharf means container. So container of time and container of place. So maf'ul fihi 2. So that 1, 2, I've made it into 1. So he split them up. And hal. So okay, hal is done. Tamyiz. Okay, tamyiz is done. Mustathna. Okay, mustathna is done. Ism of la. Okay, ism la is done. Munada. Munada is done. Wal maf'ul min ajlihi. Maf'ul min ajlihi is this one. Maf'ul lahu. Now, like I said to you, you see the wording that he's using. This is used by classical scholars in the tafsirs and other books. They'll say these kind of things that he's saying. Right? So that's why it's good to learn what he's saying. So min ajlihi, maf'ul lahu, basically. Due to it. Min ajlihi, from due to it. Wal maf'ul ma'ahu. Maf'ul ma'ahu is this one. Wa khabaru kana wa akhawatuha. Now, khabar of kana, but look what he said. Akhawatuha. Its sisters. In other words, like we said before, kana has certain other words that are attached to it as well, that behave like kana. So the sisters of kana are these crazy sisters that he has, which behave like kana. And ism of inna, over here, wa akhawatiha, and its sisters as well. So inna has some crazy mad sisters, right, and it behaves like them. So kana has roughly 14 sisters, and inna has 5 sisters. Okay, so these are basically the 15. So look how he's done it, and look how I've done it. Yeah. So number 1, maf'ul bihi. Number 2, masdar. Number 3, dharf zaman. Number 4, dharf makan. Number 5, hal. Number 6, tamyiz. Number 7, mustathna. Number 8, ism la. Number 9, munada. Number 10, maf'ul min ajlihi. Number 11, maf'ul ma'ahu. Number 12, khabar of kana. Number 13, akhawatiha, the khabar of its sisters. Number 14, ism of inna. And number 15, akhawatiha, its sisters. Everyone got that? Okay, so ustadh, what does maf'ul mutlaq do in the sentence? What meaning does it give? It's going to come. When that topic comes, it'll come. It comes for emphasis, usually. Yeah, emphasizing something. Like in English, we say things like, I'm going to really beat you up. But Arabic, they don't say that. Ana haqiqatan sa'adribuka. They don't say that. That's wrong. The way they say is, sa'adribuka darban. I will really, really, really hit you. Yeah. Okay. Now, finally, there's a little part which I didn't talk about because we've done it in marfu'at. So it's like repetitive. So, but you'll understand. At-tabi lil mansoob. So any of those 4 tabits, remember we mentioned, وَهُوَ أَرْبَعَةُ أَشْيَاء, na'at, sifa, ataf, tawqid, and badal. These 4 things apply to this as well. So any of these 4, if you were to bring them after one of these 12, then you would make that into mansoob as well. So if you go back to the marfu'at, and we mentioned of how they work over there. So if, for example, for instance, let's say I brought a word here after akaltu at-ta'am, and I brought a sifa over here, and I said akaltu at-ta'am al-ladhidh. So this word ladhidh is going to also be mansoob because it's the sifa, the na'at of ta'am, man'ut, mawsoof. And likewise ataf, if I was to bring a waw there, yeah, and another word, yeah, same thing. So the na'at, the ataf, the tawqid of any of these words will also be mansoob. So, I mean, if you were to add these to the 15, then it's going to come up to 16, 17, 18, 19, right? But obviously, that's just repeating things again and again. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's look at the Quran. If you've got any questions, put them in the comments. And whilst you're doing that, let me just... So I'm going to give you examples from the Quran of these 12. I'll just say them to you, but you just keep it in your mind. All right, let me just... Actually, I can't move that, can I? Yeah, so we'll just leave it there. So look at this. Taqiyyan. Yeah, so taqiyyan. This is the khabar of kana. It's from before. There's kanas before. غلاما, غلاما, this is the maf'ul bihi of li'ahaba. Zakiyan, this is the na'at, the sifa of غلاما. Okay. Baghiyan, baghiyan is the khabar of kana. Aku is a short version of kana. Okay. Ayatan, this is the maf'ul bihi of linaj'alahu. Ayatan, we will make it a sign for the people. Rahmatan, this is a maf'ul bihi as well of, or this is ataf rather, of the maf'ul bihi ayatan. Kana amran, amran is the khabar of kana. Maqdiyan is the sifa, the na'at of amran, mansoob. Makanan, fantabadhat bihi makanan. So makanan, this is the dharf. This is maf'ul fihi, a place. Qasiyan. Okay, so qasiyan is the sifa of the maf'ul fihi, the dharf makan. Nasyan, mansiyan, the khabar of kana. Mansiyan, sifat of nasyan. And some actually say that mansiyan is the maf'ul mutlaq, the masdar of nasyan. Okay. Sariyan, maf'ul bihi of ja'ala. Tahtaki, under you, this is the maf'ul fihi. Okay, so notice it is fatha. Tusaqit, rutaban, maf'ul bihi, janiyan, sifa of maf'ul bihi. Qarri aynan. So qarri aynan, aynan, this is the tamyiz. This is the tamyiz of qarri. Okay. Ahadan is maf'ul bihi. Sawman, maf'ul bihi again. Insiyan, maf'ul bihi. Okay, let's go to another surah. Fardan, this is the hal of ya'tina. He will come to us alone. So alone is describing how he's going to come. Diddan, this is the khabar of yakununa. Ta'uzzuhum azzan. Azzan is the masdar from the word ta'uzzu. So it's the maf'ul mutlaq. Na'uddu lahum addan. Yeah, so addan, this is the maf'ul mutlaq of na'uddu. Okay, let's see if we go to some other forms. Okay, muflihin. This is the khabar of yakunu, and this is with the ya. Yeah, so remember, knife, N-Y-F-A-K, right? That. So this is the ya one. Mursaleen. Mursaleen is the maf'ul bihi. Maf'ul bihi. Okay, and there you are. You just need practice, basically. The more you practice, the more inshallah you're gonna get better at it. So, like I said, let's practice this as much as possible, inshallah. And the more you practice, the more better you're gonna get, hopefully, inshallah. Right, so mansoobat, there are 12 mansoobat, and he mentions them as 15, but this is an easy way to remember it. So I hope that makes sense, guys. Any questions? If there's no questions, then jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.